Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Tuesday Night Live Ctfo Corporate Call. I have the honor and privilege of filling in for the amazing Michael Kahn, who is actually traveling right now and asked me to fill in, and it's certainly some pretty big shoes to fill into, but what an honor and a treat it is because we have two absolutely amazing speakers on tonight's call. Tonight is Tuesday, October 30th of 2018, and I wanted to start off with just a few quick announcements. I know that at the gala we announced that we were going to do a regional event in Connecticut in January, and everything was going forward perfectly, and there just were so many people who were very, very concerned about the weather that we can have in Connecticut in January, and there just were so many numerous requests to say, could we push it off? So we're going to have a regional event, and it is going to be in Connecticut, and we're going to have it in May. This way, for those that are traveling from far and beyond, have a great reason to come here. It is absolutely beautiful time of the year in spring here in Connecticut. We have no weather concerns. And our good friends, Alan Dalton and Todd Dalton, changed his name on Facebook, and Scott Cook have volunteered to put together an event in North Carolina. So they're going to be doing a Super Saturday in North Carolina, looking right now sometime in March. So probably between now and next week we'll have some specific dates. So again, a Super Saturday event in North Carolina area, coming up in March, and then we're going to do the regional event in Connecticut, which will just blow out. So that's the first thing. The second announcement before we talk to our amazing speakers tonight and why everyone is called, I know there's been some confusion from the field. Certainly I've been confused, so I know how some other people might feel because there's been, as we're growing and as we've gone into momentum, there's constantly things that are evolving and changing. It's pretty amazing that just this year when we started introducing hemp and CBD, we're already over 50 products. And as I look at other companies and other competitors, there's no other company that I'm aware of that offers so many different products. So I tip my hat, I congratulate, and it's just such an honor and privilege for so many reasons to be part of Ctfo, but just the overwhelming amount of products that we have at such affordable prices is incredible. But there's been some enhancements and changes and kind of zigging and zagging along the process as this industry of hemp and CBD, because it's constantly, really we are the pioneers, starting this entire really revolution where it's becoming, but obviously hemp and CBD. So a little bit of a history for those that are brand new. Our first product line, and I don't want to get into too much detail, but our very first product line was a full spectrum product, and that I don't want to go into the whole thing what full spectrum is. You can do a Google search. It's not the purpose of the call. And what the law said is that as long as it had less than 0.3% THC, it was legal. So we came out with our products, and of course GMP certified, of course, coming out with lab results, all the important things that are done. So what's in the bottle is what we said it is. And then there were certain occupations that were somewhat concerned and said, something, I'm a police officer, or I work for the military, or I'm a postal worker, or my job has some drug testing. And even though the likelihood of testing positive for THC was extremely unlikely, know someone was taking, you don't know what type of test it was, so on and so forth. So the company did the right thing, and they came out with an isolate line. So we were very blessed to offer a full spectrum and then an isolate. So we were able to offer both. Recently, there's been some technology that can take the full spectrum and during the extraction process from the plant to make it have zero THC. And that was a direction that the company said, something, let's try to pioneer this. This seems like this is really, really good, especially as we go into other countries where, there's a lower threshold for the amount of THC that you have in the product. So in our last batch, when you look at our lab reports, because every time that we do a new batch, we want to get new lab results, making sure exactly what's in there, you would have saw that both our full spectrum and our isolate had zero THC. That It had no effect on the cannabinoids that were in the product whatsoever. So it had all the incredible health benefits. But there was some pushback. There were some people who kind of, you can put 10 people in a room and everyone's going to have a different opinion. There were some people who said, something, it's really important to have some THC, even though it's a minute amount, even though that it's very, very small, even though that it's literally untraceable, that there are people that you would read blogs on or studies on that's saying there were some health benefits. So there were some people that were a little bit concerned. There are some people who argue saying it's absolutely impossible to have a full-spectrum product without any THC. That is completely false. That is erroneous. That's not true. There is a process to do it. So what the company has decided in the best interest of what they felt from a product standpoint, from being able to offer a variety for every felt that going forward, here's what they felt. And I agree with them. I concur, and I think it's fantastic. They will continue to offer the isolate. The isolate is a fantastic product and has zero THC. Going forward, you will see some of the full-spectrum products have a minute, tiny amount of THC at the legal limit of less than 0.3. Actually, they took it one step forward. Going forward, they'll never have more than 0.2, so it's even lower than the U.S., and the reason why 0.2 is that 0.2 you can go global with it. There are certain countries, while U.S. says legal limit is 0.3, other countries say 0.2, so they're just going to stick at 0.2. And I'm bringing this up because our recent 10X Pure 500, not our 1500, our 10X Pure 500 had 0.002, like less than like 1/100th of, and some people were so excited to see that back in the full spectrum, and it's great news. It's very, very great news. So please be patient as we continue to move towards this direction. Rest assured what we say is in the bottle is on the label, and our lab reports will support it, so you always know what you have. And now we have the best of everything. We have, going forward, we're going to have an isolate, which has zero THC, incredible health benefits. We have a full spectrum that going forward, not in our 1500 batch right now, but going forward, we could have up to 0.02%, or 0.2%, excuse me. So we have now created the perfect storm for what we wanted. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that. A lot of that's technical. Here's the great thing. The company is allowing you to have choices. So if you want to have a little bit of THC in there, it's not going to get you high. It's not going to get you stoned. It's not going to do any of that other stuff. But if you feel as though that's what your customer will have that for you. If you don't want to have zero because you're concerned of anything, we'll have that too. So I just want to tip my hat for not only having 50-plus products, but listening to the field, listening to what people are saying, and really honoring that, which is really great. So quick explanation there. But let's get into the call because we've got so much to talk, and we have a really, really special guest speaker. And this call is only going to be about 10 to 15 minutes. That's all it is, but there are such great announcements. But Stu, I know so many things are happening at the back office, at the home office, and I just had some great questions for you, my friend. Number one how are the sales going? How are sales going this last week, the last month, as we close in of the month of October?
So I'm going to answer that right now, and I am super excited about it. But before I do, Michael, I just have to say thank you so much for that awesome explanation, because I was going to explain your meetings all day. I can do it for you, and there's no way I could have explained it as well as you just did. So thank you so much. And when you ask me how sales are going, folks, it is not normal for companies to be growing like we're growing. I just looked at the shopping cart a couple of hours ago, and with no exaggeration whatsoever, because let's face it, in our industry, there's a lot of exaggeration out there. So with no exaggeration whatsoever, we are already 25% ahead of last month's sales, and it's not even over yet. We still have a couple of days left, and we've already done 25% more sales than we did last month. So that's an amazing growth rate. So it's going awesome.
Congratulations to everyone who called in, and boy, we're just getting started. You can tell that we've hit momentum, and we're going to be here for quite some time. Another question. Everyone's been talking about this Ctfo is 10X Pure. How are those sales doing?
So that is probably the biggest surprise to me. I knew it was going to be really, really good, but I can't believe how many folks actually either added it to their order or changed their existing order to it. So we're not just up 25%, but the 10X Pure is outselling everything right now. Literally, it's our top-selling product already, and it's only been 30 days.
And that's the game changer, Stu. That's what we talked about. And, you know, I'm reading the testimonials. People are sending me emails. I'm talking to people. You'll hear tonight Christina share her story just in a few minutes. It's unbelievable what people are saying about this product. I knew it was special when we heard about it, but the results people are having are outstanding. So we certainly have a home run here. So quickly, another thing, Stu, is I know we've had some back order issues. So let's just, you know, what I love about you so much in the company and your brother Steve and Michael Kahn is complete transparency. You know, we live in a time and an age where people will certainly just, you know, tell you what you want to hear or they'll hype things up. And I think there are so many reasons I've decided to align myself with such great people and such an awesome company, but transparency is all important and accepting responsibility and always letting the field know what's going on. So I know one of the issues was labels in the past, and a lot of times, you know, I would hear from the field, I would call you guys up and say, what's going on with this product? Why aren't we doing this? And you'd always say to me, Mike, it's a label company, it's a label company, it's a label company. And I'd always say, Stu, well, why are we hanging out with this label company then? So share a little bit about what recently has happened and what it means, more importantly, for those who are listening in, some of the changes that Ctfo has done with the label companies.
Yeah, I would love to, and it's probably one of the things that's giving me sleep at night. I don't understand it, everybody out there, how a company can be given a ton of business and they not do what it takes to handle it. And I don't want to say anything negative about anybody, but the bottom line is the truth is the truth. And we would order the labels, and you know, we would be like, okay, we've ordered these in more than enough time. It's not going to be a problem. And then there would be excuse after excuse after excuse with this label company. And so two things have happened. First of all, folks, we're now not with one label company. We're with three. We actually have three, and much larger ones even. And then the second thing that happened is we used to order 1,000 labels per product. And you got to understand, folks, we have over 70 products. So you guys can do this math later just to understand what a massive undertaking this is. But we used to order we'd order for over 70 products now, about 1,000 labels per product. And they're all selling right now, but things like 10X Pure are obviously our top sellers and stuff, but we would try to watch it closely. Then we said, there's no reason to go through this. Let's just order 5,000 per product of each label, so that way we could stay ahead of it. And then you guys, you know, blew the floodgates wide open again. So now we've just placed orders for 25,000 of each. So we're really going to stay ahead of the curve. So multiple label companies now and placing much bigger orders.
Amazing. So 3 companies, 70-plus products, 25,000 labels. So that's I'm going to need a calculator for that one, Stu. And thank you for your commitment. And I know how loyal you guys are, and for you to have to make a change or to add a company, you know, you guys are the most loyal people I've ever met in my life. So it had to get to a point where you just couldn't take it any longer and realize that was there. So I know in the past there were times that the product was ready, we were ready, everyone was ready, and GMP manufacturing, the label has to be perfect. There cannot be any error whatsoever, and we've got to follow those standards. That's one of the things that makes it so different. So if there's a minor mistake from our label company, or they're not producing what they're saying they're doing, it has a domino effect. So for those that have been affected in the past, we certainly apologize, but going forward, it's amazing. So not only did you take it a step of the label company, but there are some recent hires. I know you were in meetings today. We're not going to announce the person who was hired today, because this phone would absolutely, I mean, people wouldn't sleep tonight. There's going to be a huge announcement very soon, hopefully sooner than later. I'm aware of the announcement because I begged you out of it, and I think it's going to be one of the biggest announcements of the year, who this individual is and what he's going to be doing for this company. I'm just in awe. I just cannot believe it. But when good things happen, it attracts good people. It's going to be a massive announcement. But we also had a task who I have a tremendous amount of respect for, which is Jeff. So share with everyone a little bit about Jeff, what his role is, and why you decided to bring him to the company, and kind of just a little bit about new hirees and so on and so forth.
No, absolutely. And just so everybody out there knows, it's been kind of a funny day today. It's been one of the best days of my life. Today's actually my real birthday, and people are saying, well, why are you working on your birthday? This is nuts. And we're not going to let the cat out of the bag yet, but somebody flew into corporate today that is one of the most impressive individuals I've ever met in my life. And they took a look at everything we've got going here, and they've joined the team, and we're going to announce them very, very soon. And they tried 10X Beer today and flipped out. I mean, it was really, really a special day, and there's been other hires that are also special. And we're going to talk to you guys about all that in the future, in the very near future. So you're going to not want to miss any calls, everybody. Make sure you're on all. One hire in particular, the reason why it's a big deal is not just because I've known this person for over 20 years and because he used to work for me for most of that 20 years, but we hired him for a very specific area in our company. He's our chief procurement officer, and basically that's a fancy way of saying that he's got one of the most important jobs in the company, which is he needs to make sure that we never run out of labels or products or anything like that. So we now have a full-time employee that has been doing this for about 20 years, and all he does full-time is make sure that everything stays ahead of your growth as far as ordering labels and products and all that stuff. So it's a huge deal, and it's an area that I've been wanting to bridge that gap for a while, and it is completely bridged now. So it's a big deal, everybody.
Well, congratulations on that. Jeff is awesome. I had the opportunity to meet him in the past, and we are so lucky and blessed that he's joined our company in a position, and we are thankful for that because, as everyone on the phone is aware, having the importance of timely delivery of products and getting products in people's hands. It's if we were a one product or two products or let's say even a dozen products, that's easy. But the overtaking that you guys have done to have 70 different products, and it's incredible because when I go into the shopping cart or I look at what people are ordering or I hear it's a variety of everything. It's just incredible whether they're growing their eyelashes or now when they want to grow their hair or they have aging skin spots using the body butter or one. It's incredible and it's awesome. But here's what I like to do, Stu, is I'm going to quickly pass the call over to you because this next guest speaker is amazing. We are very, very fortunate she's on the call today. And I am going to let you introduce Christina and kind of talk with her about what's going on from the manufacturer end, back order, and where we are.
I would love to, Michael. It'll be my pleasure. So everybody out there, this is a really unique one for me, this relationship, because I had the pleasure of visiting our manufacturer earlier this year, and I had my daughter with me. And those of you that met my daughter at the gala, you know how special she is. You know she's awesome. And I've always said she's just a really good judge of character. And when we went to the manufacturer, this person was just so amazing. My daughter latched onto her. And I got to tell you, for weeks afterwards, it's all she talked about is Christina this and Christina that. And I was like saying, what am I, chopped liver? That's a saying in our family and stuff. And so the thing that I'm most impressed with, and I wish Michael Kahn could be or would have been on this call for this part because he loves Christina as well. She literally made it so that we could bring you over 70 products. If it was not for Christina, we would have hands-on on all of it, on everything. And she's also been helping us get past the back orders and everything like that. So Christina is somebody that plays a huge role with our manufacturer and everything like that. So I was just talking to her about we've got this call tonight, and we're letting everybody know that we're just about caught up, and back orders are almost a thing of the past and everything. And she said, if you would like, I'd hop on the call with you. And folks, I said this. It was probably not the exact right thing to say. I said, man, when people hear your voice, they melt. It's like the coolest accent ever. I would love to have you on the call. What I should have said is, that would be awesome because people are going to love to hear from you, not how awesome your voice is. But with that being said, Christina, I just want to have you just say hi to everybody and tell them a little bit about where we're at and how you feel about our relationship, Ctfo and you guys.
Oh, my goodness. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on, especially considering, the conundrum of, a few, some back orders that have been happening. And I know, everyone wants their stock to go out, as I would love the stock to go out as well. Just know that it is my top priority to ensure that you guys get everything you need plus more. And just know that the gummies, great news, the gummies will be in stock again tomorrow. And the 10X Pures, we got some in at around 6 p.m. today. And we will have, I would say the only thing that I'm back ordered on is the Dead Sea Mud Mask, and I'm hoping to have a better update on that tomorrow, just to be very straightforward and honest on that one. But everything else, I am preparing for a 35% increase from I would say about a week ago. I've been working with the report from about a week ago, and we're going to increase items for production so that we can ensure that everything is perfect for the holiday season and the new year.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I want to clarify that for everybody. What you're hearing is that as of tomorrow, everything is back in stock except for one item, just the Mud Sea Mask. That's the only thing. So, folks, out of over 70 products, there's one now. We're literally down to one that hopefully by tomorrow we'll have an update that it's just going to be a few days away. Okay, so with that being said, we've been catching up back orders like crazy. The only thing that won't be shipping as of tomorrow is that one product. Christina, you had said something to Michael Swilling and I today when we were talking about, you're just out of the blue, you were saying, hey, and I tried 10X Pure and I got to tell you something. So can you share that with everybody before we turn the call back over to Michael?
Blown away by the product. I won't stop talking about it to my husband, to my friends. I am blown away. So I'm not sure if any and everyone has tried this new 10X Pure product, but I can tell you that if you haven't tried it, you need to at least give it a try, because I found that it helped me with my focus. It helped me feel more sharp, awake, alive, vibrant, happy, stable. I mean, all of these words this is the way that I've been describing it to people, so I just have to share my thoughts on it. It's amazing. You have to try that product, and I would order quickly, because I can tell you right now that I'm hoping that we will continue to keep up with production, but if it sells, it may not even do the sales justice. So,
and we'll be watching it closely, folks. Instead of reporting every few weeks or so, we have a regular call with our manufacturer every single week, and if we have to go to 2 or 3, we will. We are definitely going to make sure that we handle this growth. There's no doubt about it. There's other things that are happening to gear up for this right now that will have huge announcements in the future. But the main thing is this. I've been dealing with manufacturers for like 20-something years, and I've never had a manufacturer tell me how excited they are about the product. They really don't. They're just like, well, we make it for you guys, but we have a bunch of other customers. We make everybody's products. But this was interesting when we were hearing Christina talk about that earlier, so we just thought we'd have her share it. So, Christina, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for being on the. Everybody out there, pray for her, because we're throwing a lot of business that way, and she's got a big job in front of her, but there's plenty of people to help out, so we'll make sure that we get it done. So, Michael, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to you. Thanks, Christina.
I want to thank both of you. As we wrap up this call, I want to thank both of you for being on it, and thank you for this commitment from both the Ctfo and our manufacturer. Between that 35% production rate is on 70 products between now and the end of the year is what they're expecting, which is unbelievable. And normally in this industry, for those who've been part of it for a very long time in the network marketing industry, you know that during the summer months or during the holidays, it's usually a low time, yet we're projecting massive growth, and that's because these products work. And the thing that I really think about when Christina shares that testimony is that 10X Pure, the oil that's being added, is actually a different Jeremy does from another company that we now have the exclusive patent and rights from. So for her to be so excited, you can imagine it's not just 70 products. They literally have hundreds of different products for that excitement is quite easily. And, I can't steal the thunder no matter how much I'd love to bribe and beg and plead with Stu to make the announcement right now of one of the hires that was officially hired. It's just too much right now that I really think that the excitement would blow people away, and I'll let him do it at his right time. But rest assured, when you hear this name, most people have heard of this person before. If you haven't, you can look them up, and you'll fall off your chairs. They had what I think is one of the top 3 announcements this year. Would be one of the hirees that they have, which is incredible. So thank you so much, everyone. As Stu said, is stay tuned, stay plugged in, and congratulations to everyone for having as important, thank you, everyone, for your patience as these were already passed and we lived through these minor growing pains. So bye-bye for now.